Good afternoon, everyone. It's Sunday, January the 12th. I'm making this video to showcase some of the features and content of eddycurrent.com, a website that is a great resource for anybody that's involved in eddy current testing. Now, I've been in the business for many years, and I have a lot of experience in eddy current testing and non-destructive testing in general, particularly in the power generation business. But I've been doing eddy current testing on tubing for many years. And because I already had a lot of resources at hand, and there's not a lot of really good websites out there that sort of tie everything together, I figured it was a great time to assemble all this information in one place so that future eddy current gurus will have a place that they can go to find out any information they need. And also, people that want to buy a tester, maybe buy some probes, or want to research what's out there, it's a great tool. And I'm just going to kind of run through some of the features of it. Along the top, you got the scroll, you got the menu. We're on the home page. There's a community tab. On this tab, you can connect with other members. So if you click on like the member tab, you can see folks that have subscribed to the channel. John Hansen's in there. He's like the United Kingdom guru. Used to work for Hawking. He's the boss over there at Ether NDE, and he's a wealth of knowledge, that guy. And there's me up at the top and some other ones. So I need you to subscribe to that channel so I can get some more folks on here. Because the more folks we get, the more you can engage with other people from around the world, right? There's a discussion forum in here where if there's some topics that you want to sort of discuss with other folks, just go enter them in there. Hopefully get some people on board, chat with you. And then, of course, there's my blog, which I do write quite often, blog articles. I don't do it just because I like to type. I make blogs with the reader in mind, knowing that they're probably involved in the eddy current testing business. So it's kind of like a lesson learned database, but in articles that are interesting to read. I've also done a lot of research in eddy current over the years, and have compiled thousands of reports and papers and documents, books, all related to ET in general and eddy current testing, but into the carbon steel stuff as well, surface and tubing. And I've also been in the inspection business and work on the utility side where I have inspectors working for me. So taking all of that experience and also a lot of interface with the regulatory bodies out there and management, and outage schedulers and planners and outage implementers. You know, I have a lot of things to share with somebody so you don't have to make mistakes that some folks have made in the past. So they're interesting reads and they're good stuff, so check out the blogs. Now, tools and resources. What's under there? Well, we got that sub-menu there, but so the slide rule, great tool for calculating inspection frequencies, depth of penetration, separation phase angles, things like that. ASNT Test is a book written specifically for how to perform better on multiple choice exams, particularly when they're for credentialing and licensure, like ASNT exams. Then we've got formulas and tools. This particular tab has some of the most hard to find unit conversions out there. I found these in a 1964 book from the Army, but every conversion you need is on that tab, trust me. Next, we have connectivity tables. Every once in a while, you got to look up a connectivity. This is probably the most comprehensive table I've ever seen. It's on eddycurrent.com. And we've got the book we already talked about, Codes and Standards. This just has a bunch of different standards from different organizations. You can kind of get a feel for what type of standards there are. I mean, there's standards for pretty much every type of test. Then downloads. Every once in a while, I get a request or I come across a document that I think will be valuable for people. So I usually blog about it and then make the files available on my downloads page. So it's kind of nice just to have a way to get stuff out to people. Test your knowledge, that's just a quiz. And then this tab on books. These are just books that I've purchased over the years, and I keep referring back to, and I make training content, and come up with blog article stuff. And some of them are really good, and a lot of the really good ones are kind of old. Best one's probably right here. That's a 1959 edition of the ASNT NDT Handbook. They come available every so often, but you got to be fast because I usually snap up any copies that I can find of those. But yeah, check out some of these books, and most of the ones that are available on Amazon, you can just click on them and you can just go buy them from the Amazon store, so I can make 0.001% commission, but that'll be fine. Okay, that's the Tools and Resources tab. Now there's the Formal Learning tab. What if you want to go to school for non-destructive testing? Well, you've got the schools. Here we got Votex. This will be the 2-year technical schools where they teach things like welding and automotive and non-destructive testing. So each one of these tabs is going to have a map. It takes a second to load here. These are like Google Map. But you can kind of zoom in on an area. Let's just say you're in the northwest of the United States. You could go click on, let's see here, that's not too far. You want to say, oh, that's up there in Washington somewhere. Let's click on it. That's Diver Institute of Technology, and then there's the website. You can go to the website, or you can just scroll down in this list, and every place that's on the map has the website link here and tells you about the program and gives you contact information. It does the same thing for junior colleges, universities, and corporate training. How many corporate training centers are there for NDT? A lot. I think between the Votex, junior colleges, universities, and corporate training centers, you have over 250 choices worldwide on where to go get training. So that's a nice source of information. NDE.education.org, this is the Iowa State website that their master's department have put together that covers all the basic topics that are covered in Eddy current curriculum. So that's a tremendous resource. It's been around for quite a few years. I just provided links to their website here. And then I have some courses that I personally have made. We have level 1, 2, and level 3 refresher. And because these were all made with a good program, it's all digital, a lot of AI stuff in there too. I'm able to custom make classes pretty quickly too. So if you have something special you need, I'll take the basics out of any of these courses, plop them in a new course, and then add your content. And that's 100% online courses. All right, now we're going to go back to the home page. Formal Learning ET training publications. I've had people come up and say, hey, we want to do our own training, but we don't really know where to turn for books. ASNT is a great place for that. American Society for Non-Destructive Testing. These are all the books for Eddy current or electromagnetic testing, but they have, the classroom training handbooks, student books, instructor books. You can get the PowerPoint presentations. And then here's some other books, the question and answer books, level 3 study guides, material processes, all the good stuff. And I think if these are on Amazon, they're probably linked. These are linked directly to the ASNT store. You can get them a little bit cheaper if you're a member too. So, all right, that'll hook you up for training. Industry applications, what's under there? Line testing. Eddy current isn't just for tubes and airplanes. It's very widely used in factories and in assembly places. A lot of sensors, they call me. I don't call them probes so much, I call them Eddy current sensors. But they can measure water level and displacement between two pieces of equipment and measure tolerances. This type of testing was done in Europe. In the 1950s, they were testing over 5 million parts per day just with Dr. Forster's instruments. And that was in 1950. Can you imagine today? It's probably hundreds of millions of parts per day if you go across the world, right? Okay, tube inspections by industry. There's lots of tubes out there. You could probably circle the globe, a couple dozen times with all the tubes, probably more than that. But whether it's nuclear power, natural gas plants, fossil fuel plants, refineries, all these places have heat exchangers, which all have tubes, and most of those tubes are required to be inspected at certain intervals. So this just talks about tubing from the different types of facilities that you might come across. Equipment selection guide. What's in here? What did I put in there? This is just, it talks about a lot of different types of equipment, different types of tests, different types of probes. So you can learn a little bit more about that. Of course, you can subscribe to the website, which I highly recommend that you do, because that will get more people that you can engage with when you come on the site. It's a good way to network. Research and publication, that's another tab. Let's see what that one does. NDT related websites. Let me back up when I was too fast with the clicker. ET research organizations. This is where I went to get a lot of my papers that I use for various things. Battelle Labs, that's where I learned about the slide rule. Berkeley Lab, Brookhaven, EPRI's a big one. I go there quite a bit for meetings about eddy current testing. And most of these sites will have public reading rooms where you can go and download documents that are publicly available. You can go down these rabbit holes for days on end if you fall down that eddy current rabbit hole. ASNT Magazine Archives. This particular page has an index of every article on electromagnetic testing, eddy current testing, remote field testing, ACFM, from 1942 until almost current day. I still need to update it. But if you're searching, do a Control F and search on aerospace, and you'll find all the aerospace articles. If you're looking at doing some remote field testing, you can search for remote field in here, Control F, and you'll find every instance of that. And then once you got the title you want, you can just go click on this tab, and that'll take you to the ASNT website. And this is their material evaluation digital archive page. And you just find the issue that has your article in it. And if you're a member, you can download the whole issue for free. If you're not, you'll have to pay per article. So I would recommend that you get a membership and download to your heart's content. Okay, this is one of my favorite pieces of work right here, because there's so much information in there. Then we got a similar thing for the quality magazines. They have a lot of like real general eddy current type articles, more for like the casual reader and managers and stuff like that. They don't get too technical. But if you click on any of those, I think it gives you a little synopsis of it. Like a lot of these you can read for free, and one complimentary article. So you get so many freebies, and then you got to pay, but they got some good stuff in there for sure. All right, let's go check out NDT related websites. There's a lot of those out there. ASME, ASNT, ASTM, British Institute for NDT, Canadian Institute for NDE, German NDT, Italy. So many of these. And, go click on one of them. There's another rabbit hole. You can spend a whole weekend on this website if you want. All right. Let's go back a page. Now we got nuclear links. There's a lot of links pertaining to the energy business. I really like this map here because it's an interactive map of all the nuclear power plants around the world. So you can zoom in and you can click on any plant, and it'll tell you if it's operating, under construction. Maybe it was operating and they decommissioned the plant. Maybe it's just that you got a license approved and they're going to build a plant someday. It's got all that information here, so that's a great interactive map. And then you just got a bunch of different links for a bunch of different energy-related or regulatory websites, different major vendors that do very large projects, research labs that contributed a lot to what we know current day about eddy current testing. And the Nuclear Tourist, that's a really cool site for just general nuclear stuff. Okay, let's go back a page. Let's go back to the main page, eddycurrent.com. See what we got. Again, it's Sunday, so the internet's allowed to be a little bit slower today. Maybe my cache is getting all blocked up. Uh-oh, you know what? My internet connection just died. So that concludes our video for today, but you saw most of what's on eddycurrent.com, and I encourage you to go check it out. Go to the forum, ask some questions, leave some comments, maybe subscribe to the website so we can get some more folks engaged and connected. Thank you very much, and I'll be posting future videos. Thanks.